In the seaside town of Eastbourne, two families are preparing to take part in an educational experience. Our first family, Dad Mark, Mum Jackie, and 10-year-old Andrew, who struggles with reading. On the other side of town, our second family, Dad Paul, Mum Jax, Sister Grace, and 8-year-old Harrison, who lacks confidence. Both families have one thing in common. They haven't a clue what their Key Stage 2 children do at school. But with our expert Adam and some cameras in the classroom, they're about to find out.
And it might give you some insights from the bird's eye view of how you might be able to help him more as well.
Adam Abdel Noor has over 30 years' experience in education as both a teacher and psychologist.
I like games and I like maths, really, yeah, them too.
So I guess you like maths games?
Yeah.
And what's your least favourite subject?
My least is probably literacy or geography.
Or geography. You're obviously interested in his schooling and how it's going. What are your main concerns?
He's reading, really, as far as it goes, because he's behind in it slightly, and he doesn't seem to be able to grasp how to read, basically, and he finds it fairly difficult. And you do worry about it, and we do help him, but it's difficult with time, really, and things, and his concentration level isn't really what it should be, I suppose. Do
you think it affects your work, Andrew?
Well, yeah, it does affect my work that I can't read, because I'm really good at maths, it's just I can't read the questions and stuff.
Yes. So does that worry you?
Yeah, a bit.
A bit. So when we get a chance to observe Andrew in class, I think we will be watching some literacy activities going on, and you might pick up some pointers for ways that you can help Andrew at home.
Also looking for pointers are Harrison's family.
It was a complete culture change from the infant school into this stage, from Key Stage 1 to Key Stage 2. The teachers treat the children a little bit more grown up, so you don't necessarily get that day-to-day contact with them that you do at the younger age.
I mean, do you have concerns, or are you very happy with the way things are going?
We did actually go in, didn't we, and say we was a bit concerned that Harrison wasn't doing as much writing as we thought he should be, and we felt that in the primary school as well. But, you know, he's trying to do more now.
When he initially joined the school, he seemed to lack a lot of confidence.
Do you feel you have a confidence problem, Harrison?
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes a lot.
But you were worried about whether it was something that you'd done.
I've heard somewhere that children's personalities are formed by the time they're about 11 years old. And having been quite strict on Harrison and feel a little bit guilty about the fact that he's possibly a bit insecure at times, have we created that, and have we created a child that's going to grow up to be insecure in the rest of his life?
Well, this is not Frankenstein's monster sitting next to me, you know.
I feel that, you know, we want to sort of try and change him into a more confident boy, so as he grows up, it will grow with him.
All parents get it wrong some of the time, and right some of the time, and half right and half wrong some of the time. And you are only partially responsible for Harrison. Harrison's also partially responsible for himself. Well, we're going to have an opportunity to actually see Harrison in action in the classroom, and I think that'll be very enlightening for all of us, and we'll certainly be able to see if your concerns are justified, and we'll also be able to see what we can do to support Harrison more.
Harrison and Andrew attend the largest junior school in Europe. Auckland has nearly 840 pupils, and there are 6 classes in each year group. Head teacher for the last 6 years, Mark Trott has clear ideas on how his pupils can be further supported.
It's of critical importance that parents get involved in their children's education. That can be done in very straightforward ways, just by reading newsletters, by coming along to parents' evenings, by perhaps attending the odd school trip or helping in class. More significantly, They can help at home by encouraging their children, by being interested in the work they're doing at school, by following up things we're doing in school, by being positive about school, by making sure their children are in bed at a good time, by making sure they're eating good food, by making sure they have interests outside of school that they follow. So the parents' role is absolutely critical, and when the parents' role and the school's role are in tandem, that's when you get the most benefit for the child. The sorts of children I want to see coming out at the end of the school at Ocklands are children that are well adjusted, children that can get on well with other people, that can work as part of a team, people that are going to contribute to society. Yes, we want children that can read and write, can add up and all that sort of thing. But there's a lot more to education than just that.
It's 8:40 a.m. on observation day. Harrison and Andrew have arrived for registration.
Yes, Miss Johnson.
Andrew.
Yeah, good morning, Miss Cavalier.
And Elizabeth.
As the bell goes for first period, it's time for parents Jax and Paul to join psychologist Adam in an adjoining classroom.
So let's get stuck in straight away and see how he's doing in class.
Looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah.
They bite, they lick their dirty chins. They mutter, they splutter, their dirty chins.
He sounded really confident reading there, which is... I mean, he is at home with stuff he knows, but that was... In class, I didn't expect him to be quite so confident with everyone around.
The whole class has clearly practised that.
So that's
but it's nice. And
showing you modelling, isn't it?
he was obviously reading. I mean, he wasn't following others.
Right, number 2. A bit can yell, smell, hunt and bite. What's missing out of that one?
Now, this is a much more difficult task to actually work out what's wrong with the sentences.
Barney, where do you want to put the comment?
After sweaty.
So somebody spotted that there was two missing commas in that sentence.
Is it right?
Yeah.
And why are those commas there? Harrison?
Because it's like a list.
Because it's a list. Is this a list of adjectives?
He was the only one who put his hand up and answered the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's confidence to come forward.
More confidence.
He's more confident than I thought.
But I mean, I think that's a key revelation. That your perception of whether he's confident at school has already changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, I actually thought he'd do less than that and be a lot quieter and wouldn't even put his hand up.
It sort of dispels the theory that we've had that, you know, we've knocked his confidence, because he certainly seems up with everything and very confident to talk and put himself forward and put himself in the front line, answering questions and things.
So is that reassuring?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very much so.
Especially how he's sort of like, you know, carrying on now. Definitely.
What about this one? These aren't real words, are they?
No.
The whole class is purposeful. I mean, it's a good class. And that's going to be supportive for him and for all the children, weaker and stronger. But clearly, he's got to fill in the boxes on that piece of paper.
Yeah, it's whether he does
and
or
now
not normally.
Now there's that. I think there's that pensive look back on his face. He's concentrating really hard now to do this, and I think the teacher's picked up that he doesn't really know quite what to do at that moment. So this is right. He needs some help at this moment. She's there to help him.
So what have you? Which one are you on? How does that make sense? You need to do being so.
His writing's quite neat, you feel, don't you, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is generally when he's
like
doing his homework at home, then he's pretty good.
He tried very hard. He was trying very hard, though. He was very carefully.
Yeah.
That's the perfectionism, which is also part of his background. Literacy was the area you were most concerned with. So we're nearly at the end of the class. What are your thoughts now and feelings now?
I think it comes across that he's more confident than we believed he was. But I think it has also shown us that there are times where he needs a little bit of close direction, just to point him in the right way, so he knows exactly what he's got to do, and then he'll get on with the task.
So coming back little and often, the teacher, and just pushing him slightly, or just guiding him is a better word, I think, yeah.
Harrison's delightful. He's polite, extremely helpful, sensible, well-behaved. He's extremely well-motivated, so he approaches every piece of work with the I'm going to try and do this attitude. doesn't always find everything comes easily, but will always give it 100%. Harrison?
A half and 2 fours.
2 quarters. Go and point to them. Half and 2 quarters, yes, and Charlie said 4/8 as well, so we've actually got 3 now. So that one.
The advantage of such a big school is that if the classes are selected effectively in terms of ability, you do get a group that's all working very much in the same band of activity, and that helps a lot because it makes it easier for the teacher to focus the tasks on the children's needs and provide something that really suits them.
We're allowed to use different colours.
I know.
See, now you can see that now every child has an individual task, so they can all work at their own pace. So none of them should be bored, as long as they all know what they're doing and they're all motivated.
The children really do seem as though they're interested in what's being taught to them, and whether that's, you know, hopefully that's the way the teacher's putting it across. But there's obviously a lot of enthusiasm for the whole class. Yeah, which is quite impressive, actually. I'm quite surprised.
She keeps them well controlled, I think, and I think if there's no upheaval and keeping them controlled, you get more out of a class, don't you?
But it seems to me that that's, from everything that we've seen so far, you're feeling more and more happy about what's happening for Harrison at school.
Very much so. Yeah.
I'm seeing healthy, happy children, purposefully engaged, and enjoying it as much as you could possibly expect someone to enjoy a maths lesson.
Leaving the numbers behind, Harrison heads off to see if he can master some music.
His face was quite expressive though when he was doing that little rhyme.
Harrison always seems to, at home, shows a good sense of rhythm and beat. I mean, he likes he does a lot of dancing and stuff at home, doesn't he? He very much likes music.
Stop it. Left hand tap. Black with silver buttons all down her back. She asked her mother for 50 pence. Really, Evans, and the fence.
It's interesting that even that interference from one of the other children, he doesn't let it deter him from what his task is.
Yeah.
He's just carrying on singing, he's not stopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's too structured, isn't he, for that?
Well, yeah, but he's focused on what he's doing.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's good to have a little bit of a joke, and he wasn't going to have any of it, was he? Didn't you see that one?
No, he didn't want to mess around.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's there to learn, isn't he?
Yeah. But really, you want to ruffle him up a bit and let him be distracted a little bit and not be so focused, which we've always made him so focused and so perfect. So we want him to have fun and be a bit more way out.
It's a bit dangerous because it sounds as if you're saying you want him to be naughtier.